What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fatkat bringing you another video. Today, man, we're going to talk about what we always talk about, right? I've already had a few questions already, say how much the car was, how much did you pay, how much did you put down, and everything else. So let's go and get to it, man. But first, we're going to give you guys a cold start, of course, mandatory, right? Mandatory cold start with one of these cars. So we'll give you guys a cold start, then we'll come back and get into it. All right, let's go. That thing will never get old, man. Never get old. I don't care who you are. And that's completely stock. There's not even no modifications. Have the car for about 2 days now, so it's only gonna get better, man. But anyway, so like I said, man, let's get into the mandatory videos. If you guys know, man, once you get one of these cars, whether it's a Scat pack, the regular the 5.7, I'm gonna say regular, but the 5.7, the RTs, or whatever the case, obviously the Hellcats, the Demons and all that, you gotta make your mandatory videos first, man. You always gotta do your mandatory videos, how much you paid, whatever, how much the gas mileage, or how much it costs for gas, and all that, all the boring videos, man. So let's go get all the boring videos out the way. Then after that, man, we can start getting to the good stuff and start doing some really good videos on this car, man. Anyway, as you guys can see, man, it's in the background. She's gonna be sleeping there for the next couple days because I gotta get on the plane and go to work. If you guys seen some of my other videos, you guys know that I travel for work. So actually, I got a plane to catch in about 3 hours. So, but with that being said, with the trip comes another whip, basically. So we're gonna go ahead and so we'll get another car. Another rental car. Hopefully they got something good over there in where I'm going or whatever on the lot, and we could pick something up and then we do the review and everything else. I hope this focus is good or whatever with the car in the background. I'm still kind of I mean, I've had this YouTube channel for a long time, but I was just throwing the videos or whatever, and not really thinking anything of it. Never thought about monetizing anything, so I'm still kind of new to actually doing videos for actual YouTube and people to watch and everything else. So so let me know how I'm doing, man. Or if anything could be better as far as angles or things of that nature, man. But anyway, let me get into it because I don't want this video to be too long. So it's going to be story time today. So let me go and tell you from the beginning. So if you're only interested in exactly how much I paid or whatever and this and that, let me go ahead and give that to you up front so you can go ahead and go on about your business. Go ahead and about your business if that's what you want to do. So what I paid for this car, out the door, sticker price, well, not sticker price. What I paid for the car was 46,000 and change, right? Then after then you got your couple fees in there as far that was the vehicle price or whatever, and then you got a couple fees in there and everything else. But after everything, what I financed, what I wrote, what I signed on the finance paper was 29,700. So that's the bottom line. That's what that's what it was or whatever, this and that. And then we'll get into the story time now of how we got to that number and how I actually ended up with this car right here. So if that's all you wanted to hear, man, I appreciate you guys for even checking that part out. And we'll see you guys on the next video, man. But for those that actually want to hear what's how I actually got to that figure and actually got into this car for that number, this is it right here. So as I said in my last video, man, you want to try to get your own financing, right? So that's what I did or whatever. So I went into I called my bank or whatever, said, hey, this is what I want, so on and so forth. Like I said, if you guys for the few people that have been watching any of my videos, you guys know that I was in the market for an actual Hellcat. That's what I wanted to get. I wanted to get a Hellcat. So I asked for it, and like I said, my credit union is kind of weird where they don't just give you a number. Like, you actually have to request a number, right? Let me turn off this light and see if that might get better. Yeah, so maybe with the light off it's a little bit better. You could kind of get more. Sorry, it's kind of a gloomy day today here in Florida. This is our quote-unquote cold weather. I think it's about 60-something degrees, 65 degrees or something like that. But anyway, no sun out or whatever. It's kind of gloomy. But anyway, so yeah, so like I was saying in my last video, man, if you can, you want to try to get your own financing before you walk into the dealership, because then you kind of walk in with a little bit of power. At the very least, you know, that way you don't have to waste the time with them doing finance, because you know that part takes forever. But at the end of the day, you already walk in basically with the check in your pocket. You got the power, you got the ball in, you know, in your court. You have all the power in the world as far as when it comes down to negotiating and everything else, because you already got basically cash in your pocket. But at the very least, if you want to, you know, if some dealerships say, hey, we could try to beat that, whatever your interest rate or whatever, so you already know what you got. You don't even have to tell them what you got, but you could be like, yeah, I got my interest rate. Oh, well, let's try to beat it. You don't even got to tell them, like, all right, try it. If you want to go ahead and wait that long, and if they come back and they could try to, you know, they try to beat it, then hey, let them try to beat it. But if not, then you just move on, because you already got, you know, what you need in your pocket. Anyway, so with that being said, I got my own financing, and like I said, my credit union, they don't ask you what, or they don't tell you what you're approved for. You have to ask a certain amount of money. So with that being said, because I know I wanted a Hellcat and this and that and the third, I went in there asking for, I asked for 85,000, right? I know Hellcats are way cheaper than that or whatever, but I just want to give myself a little bit of wiggle room and whatever, just in case if I ended up finding something else, whatever the case. But anyway, I just shot just a little bit more because, you know, for whatever, I just wanted to make sure I had enough for whatever reason. So I asked for 85,000, came back, said, okay, boom, of course you're approved and everything else, whatever. But then I asked, okay, well, if I use this amount, how much will be my payments? And I gave him a certain number. I said, well, if I try to get the Hellcat, if I, let's say I get it for about 68 out the door, you know, and then with trading and everything else, how much would it be? And it came back with $1,100. And I said, no way, Jose, that is not happening, because as I explained in my last video, I mean, I got 3 kids, I got a wife and everything else, and sure, can I pay it? Yeah, I could pay it, and you know, whatever, I could pay for the car. But at the end of the day, you know, just because you can afford it doesn't mean you can afford it, if you know what I mean. So a lot of times you got other things going on. The house we're in right now, it's actually our first house from after I got out of the military. If you don't know, I was military, about 2 years removed now. Well, 2.5 years, about 2 years removed. You know, so this is our first house we bought after the military. So we're looking to buy another house, a bigger house now, and you know, rent this one that we're in right now. So I know I have that in the horizon, and obviously family comes first, and you know, my boys play sports and travel sports and everything else. So you know, that's a couple $1,000s for each one of them. I got 3 boys, you know, every single year. So that's roughly about $5 grand each for them to play their sports a year, give or take a little bit. So yeah, so anyway, so all that being said, like I said, yeah, can I make the payment? Sure. But then like I said, you know, we might fall short in other areas that we're trying to do you know, that we're trying to make things happen in our life right now. So once I said that, I was like, all right, Hellcat is out the question, because I'm not doing $1,100 payment for that. So naturally, all right, so we start looking at Scat packs, right? Because they're about 20 grand less. So we start looking at Scat pack, 25 grand less at that. Anyway, so we start looking at Scat packs, man. And so what I did was I pitted maybe 3 or 4 dealerships against each other, right? So I started emailing dealerships and whatever. I mean, all the way up to maybe 40 or 50 miles away, man. Actually more than that, probably about 100 miles away. So all the way down South Florida, you know, East coast of Florida, I mean, and pretty much all around Florida. So I started putting some dealerships together, whatever, hitting dealerships up. And I'm telling you, man, I know I wanted, especially if I was going to get a Scat pack, I didn't want just a base model Scat pack. You know, some people are like, oh, I want to buy performance. Like, nah, that's not me. I'm a type of guy, like I said, if you see my other videos, if you see my videos even from way back when, like I like my options, man. I like a nice car. Like this is not just a car for me to go to the drag strip with. You know, I'm actually, you know, this is gonna be a nice car for me. You know, it's a nice car for me to drive around and everything else. It's not just to put as much power as I can in it, take the drag strip, and that's it. I'm not gonna take care of it. You know, throw a wrap on it and then, you know, whatever, and I call it good. That's not me, man. I'm gonna spend a lot of time with this car, washing it, waxing it, keeping it, you know, keeping it immaculate. That's gonna be what this car is gonna be. So anyway, with that being said, man, so I know I wanted a highly optioned Scat Pack, right? So then obviously I start looking at Daytonas and everything else. The Daytonas, man, they just did not do it for me. You know, no knock on anybody who has a Daytona, but I just can't do all the vinyls and the graphics and all that. I like simplistic, nice and clean, and call it a day. As a matter of fact, like I said, like I explained in my last video, man, I was even iffy about the stripes with this particular, you know, on the stripes on this car, but I think the stripes on this Gold Mango Scat ties it all in together, man. Especially the carbon stripes. Probably would have been the flat black stripes. I probably wouldn't have liked it, but the carbon stripes, I think, just do, you know, it literally just ties everything together. So anyway, so you know, looking at Daytonas, looking at Scat Packs, whatever. Anyway, man, so what happened was they ended up most people for a Scat Pack that was optioned like this they were all around 54, 55,000 out the door, right? So this is after fees and after everything, because most of the MSRPs on these cars, like I said, on the options I was looking at were about 50 to about 52, 53. So you know, so most of them were like, some of them, one guy came back with a destroyed gray one at like 56 something, and I was like, no way. You know, literally that's Hellcat prices. You know, I could go get a slightly used Hellcat for cheaper than that. So I was like, that ain't happening. Anyway, man, so what happened was, all right, man, I'll go and cut to the chase, man. So anyway, so I was pitting a few dealerships together. So I went to a local dealership, man, and they had this car, right? Literally right down the street from me. And they were like, oh, okay, well, we could, first they gave me the same thing, oh, 53, 54, whatever. I was like, hell no. I was like, nope. I was like, man, I'll give you, and I know the MSRP on this, I mean, not the MSRP, the invoice on this car was about 48,000, right? I knew that coming in. I didn't tell them I knew that, but I knew that. So the invoice on this car was about 48,000, like $34 or something like that. But actually, I think this one was 48,300 and change. So that was the invoice, right? And then on top of that, if you don't know, dealerships also have holdbacks, right? Which is a little bit of money that they get paid from the manufacturer, that, you know, that they get on the back end after they sell the car. So I already knew that coming in. So I was like, nah, man, this and that. But you know, I understand dealerships want to make their money as well. You know, they got jobs and they got to eat as well. You know, all the you know, everybody that works there, and especially the salespeople. So anyway, so I was like, nah, man, I was like, I gave you, actually, I think at first I said, well, first I gave him like a low ball number, I ain't gonna lie. But then when we got actually down to the nitty gritty, I was like, nope. I was like, I'll do 49.5. So they were like, you know, we went back and forth for a while, and then they came back at 49.5. I was like, okay, cool. Now, what happened was, I was also talking to another dealership about 45 minutes away, right? They had a Gold Mango, but it didn't have the stripes. I think it had a black hood and a black roof, right? But it didn't have anything else. Well, actually it had a lot of options in it, but it didn't have like a sunroof or anything else, right? Which is what I wanted. And it didn't have the stripes either. Like I said, I don't really like the Gold Mango without the stripes. So I was talking to them and I was like, look, man, I was like, you don't have what I want there, but there's another car that I like. It's at another dealership. I was like, is it possible for you guys to do a dealer trade and this and that? Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm saying, okay, if you could do a dealer trade on this one and you could give me a better price, then hey, well, you know, we'll do that. So anyway, so I was going back and forth, and we're literally dealing on the same car. The dealership didn't even know it. So, well, the other one did, but not the one here, close to me. So yeah, so I went to them and I was like, you know, 49.5, and they were like, okay, cool. But then the problem is, when I got there, they were trying to jerk me on my trade-ins, right? I had a 2018 Volkswagen Passat, brand spanking new. I just bought in May. And then I had a 2007 BMW 335i. It's on the channel as well. You guys probably seen it. Actually, I do have some videos on it. Granted, the BMW, man, like it's been sitting in my garage for a little over a year, and that car wouldn't start. It would start when I jumped it, but the battery was completely dead. So I would literally have to like put it on the jumper cables for like 30-45 minutes, and then it'll start. Anyway, So when I went down to the dealership, I was like, look, man, you know, I got my Volkswagen here, this and then the third. I was in my BMWs at home. And I didn't lie to them. I'm an old military guy, and you know, even people that worked with me in the military, they could tell you a lot of things about me. You know, some people could probably. That's a whole nother story, man. But you know, they could probably call me lazy at times. They could call me this, they could call me that, whatever the case. But one thing nobody can ever tell you about me is that I lie. Integrity is a big part of what I do. You know, I mean, that's just a big part of me. So I'm not saying I'm always right, but I'm always going to give you my truth, the way I look at it and my perspective and the way I look at things. So I would never, ever, ever, you know, try to finagle anybody in that way or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a big time believer in integrity. So, and sometimes that's a gift and a curse. A lot of times I was a curse in the military because a lot of people don't like to hear that because you got your rank structure and everything else. And like I said, at the end of the day, I wasn't with the, you know, oh, you got more rank than me, so I can't tell you exactly how I feel because I just didn't live my life like that. Because before that, I'm a man before anything else. And if those are my values and my core values, and I'm going to live by that regardless. So, like I said, a lot of times that didn't fare well for me in the military, but hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? We all live and put what we can on our shoulders whenever we want to. Anyway, so with that being said, I told them, I was like, yep, I was like, I got my Volkswagen's here, but I got a BMW at home. It doesn't start. It does start if you jump it, but you know, it doesn't, you know, whatever, right? So, but the battery's completely dead and it has a flat tire. So what happened was, man, basically, like I said, keep the long story short, well, it's already long, but they, basically said they would only give me $14,000 for my Volkswagen, and they didn't even want to do anything with the BMW because it's like, well, it's not here, you got to get it here. And you know, like I said, obviously I'm cutting through a lot of stuff because it's like probably like an hour, 2 hours at the dealership already. Mind you, they've called me like an hour. This is like the third time I've been there because every time I go there, they're like, I'm like, nah, man, you guys are wasting my time and this and that and the third, and I'll end up walking out. Then they call me back, oh, come back and you know, we'll do this. And every time I go there, it's a different story. So as a matter of fact, even with that 49.5, they told me over the phone. They told me over the phone that the sales guy was like, yeah, man, you know, we'll do it for 51. This, and I was like, no, man, I already told you guys 49.5. And then he came back 2 minutes later. All right, man, we could do it for 49.5. And when I got to the dealership, you know, that particular guy was busy, but then he passed me off to another guy, and and a young kid at that. He looked like he literally just got out of high school, and you know, they were acting like. And then when he talked to the sales manager, they were acting like they didn't know where that number came from. And I'm like, you see, here we go again, man. You guys are wasting my time. So I finally thought, okay, we could do it. Anyway, so, but then like I said, where they tried to get me was they tried to get me on my trading. They tried to give me way less than what my traders were worth. So, anyway, long story short, and then that dealership pissed me off because, like I said, I was already there, and I was like, nah, man. I was like, this other dealership, which is true, the other dealership, which is the one in Lakeland, I was like, they already told me they'll give me $16,000 for my Volkswagen, and then $3,000 for my BMW. And they're like, well, why'd you come here? And I'm like, because you guys are local and everything else, and you know, whatever. So anyway, man, so the sales guy left, came back. He was like, all right, man, the most we could give you for your Volkswagen is $15,000, and you know, because they're tired of dealing with you. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. When they said that, my PTSD kicked in. My wife says I got PTSD, I don't know. But, you know, I do have a shorter fuse than I used to before I joined the military. But yeah, man, so, my bad, I was my neighbor. But yeah, man, so, yeah, man, my PTSD kicked in and I was like, what? And I got up, man, and my oldest son was there, who was 15. I got up and I was like, you know what, tell them the feeling is mutual. And I said, as a matter of fact, who said it? Because I'll go tell them to their face. I don't care if it's the manager, the GM, the owner, whoever it is, tell me who said it right now. And I started getting kind of loud. I was like, tell me who said it, and I'll go talk to him myself, right? And they were like, and the kid kind of sat back like, he was like, oh no, I was just kidding. I was like, nah, man, that's not the way you joke around. You don't joke around with first of all, with a grown-ass man. Second of all, with somebody who's about to spend almost $50,000 at your establishment. That's not a joke, right? So anyway, long story short, man, I ended up leaving. So the next day, man, I went to the other dealership and I said, hey man, I want this car right here. I'll do $50,000 out the door, right? Because I already know you got your fees and everything else. And I already knew what the price of the car was, but they were, they try to add other stuff. I was like, nope, I'll do 50 grand out the door. And then, like I said, I already know the invoice on this, what the invoice on this car was. But I just wanted to get things out the way. So I was like, man, I'll do 50 grand out the door. And mind you, they already said they were gonna give me 16 for my Volkswagen and 3,000 for my, you know, for my BMW. So I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up towing my BMW down there. And then I took my Volkswagen. So here's the thing, man. That's why if you guys seen on my video where I said, you know, taking delivery, man, it was supposed to be a quick thing, man, 30 minutes. Right, by the time I got there, I told my BMW down there on a Wednesday, and I didn't go down there until like the next Saturday because I'm just so, you know, busy with work and everything else, and taking the kids around to practices and whatever else, right? So we go down to I go down to the dealership on Saturday, right? BMW's been there for a couple days already. When I get there, they're like, oh, we got a problem, sir. The BMW won't start. And I was like, man, I've told you guys multiple times, you gotta leave it on the jumper, I mean, you know, whatever, for like 45 minutes or else it won't jump, right? I was like, you gotta put it on there. I told you guys this. Mind you, so the week before I went down to this dealership and we kind of did like a preliminary deal, whatever, this and that, right? And when I went there, I have a video. I actually put my phone up to the camera, right? So it had the timestamp, it had the date, it had everything else. And I showed them a video, right, of the BMW running, because I jumped it, it was running, you know, I did as detailed as I could, all the little scratches or whatever, you know, on the body. Like I said, in 2007, it had about 135, almost 136,000 miles, or about 136,000 miles, but I showed them. So when I went down there the week before, right, because like I said, I was dealing with both these dealerships. These were the last two that I was dealing with. I showed it. So basically the timestamp and the date was literally, or the time was literally about an hour before I went there. So they seen the vehicle running, heard it and everything, heard it running, right? So like, oh, well, anyway, so fast forward a week, oh, we can't get it to start, you know, after I told it there, right? We can't get it to start and this and that, whatever. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. So they were like, yeah, so they took a video because apparently they put a jump box to it and this and that, and it was cranking, but it wasn't turning over. So they took a video saying, look, this is what we got out of it. So I was like, man, you know, this and that. Anyway, so like I said, now I'm here. We're already here for about an hour, and I'm starting to get mad because it's supposed to be a quick thing, and it wasn't. I had my kids, they just finished playing, my youngest son just finished playing the game. My oldest son had a basketball game that we were supposed to go to as well, because we were supposed to do that in between. So, and you know, my wife is there, and then my other son, so we got two kids with us. You know, one just finished playing, the other one's about to play, and you know, whatever the case, man. So anyway, so it was just bad, perfect storm of, you know, bad storm or whatever, right? So I'm starting to get mad. I was like, man, let me do this thing, man. So I hook up the jumper cable. I was like, don't touch it. Hook up the jumper cables and everything else. And you know, I sat there for literally I sat there for an hour, man. My wife went down to my father's house, who lived in the area, who lives in that area, took the kids or whatever, so they won't just be sitting there. I sat in that truck, in the car that they were, you know, using to jump the car with. I sat in that truck for an hour because I didn't trust these guys. I didn't trust them. I was like, nah, there's no way that this thing don't work, or it doesn't turn on. And I sat there for an hour, basically guarding the car. And yeah, man, after an hour, I went to go start it, and nothing. Didn't even get ACC, didn't get nothing. Like, you know, ACC is when all the little lights and stuff come on, like all your, you know, your preliminary lights, your radio and everything else. I got nothing. I was like, that does not make sense, man. I started getting mad. The GSM came out, I cussed him out, you know, this and that, whatever. That regular sales guy came out, I was cursing him out as well. Cause like I said, I was hot, man. So I told him, I was like, there is no way it goes from 1 week, you guys seen it, my car, I could jump my car and everything else, to you know, it got here, I told it here, and you guys could get it to crank, but it wouldn't turn on. And then now it goes to, there's nothing. I don't get anything out of it at all. I was like, that seems fishy to me. I don't know what's going on. I was like, I don't know what your mechanics are doing, this and that, whatever, trying to sabotage something, whatever, because they were saying, you know, if it turns on, we give you $3 grand. If it don't turn on, $500. And I was like, nope, no way, no way, no deal. I was like, no deal, man. I'm just, you know what, I'm just gonna pack up my stuff and go. Maybe that's God telling me not to get this car, whatever the case, man. So anyway, so we sat out there, man. I sat out there. The reason why I was there for so long, because I sat there for probably like 3 hours, man. We started pulling, and that part I do give them credit, because they see how mad I was. So they were, the GSM and the sales manager was out there with me, you know, trying to figure out why I wasn't turning it on. I mean, I don't know if it, you know, they were. Huh. Fire truck. That's weird. Anyway, but yeah, man, so I don't like to point fingers, especially if I don't have actual evidence. So I don't want to actually point any fingers or say anything. But like I said, it just seemed kind of fishy to me. And but like I said, I'm not going to say that they did do anything because I don't know for sure. But unless I get that evidence. But anyway, so with that being said, we sat out there for like 3 hours, man, pulling fuses and this and that, whatever, trying to figure out why this thing won't start. Fast forward, man, it ended up, so I never got it to start, and I was already mad and tired, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to tow this shit back to my house or back to another dealership, because another dealership hit me up the day before. Actually, the Granite one, if you see my video saying that I was going back and forth between the Granite and the Go Mango, the Granite one, they were at 50. The reason why I didn't go with that one at first, because they were at 54 after everything, and I was like, no, way too much, we're too far apart. So they ended up calling me the day before I went to go get this one. And they were like, all right, fine, man, we'll match it. Because I told them, I was like, nah, man, I already got a contract on the table, you know, this and that and the third. I was like, they're the ones who even came close to whatever my number was, and, you know, something that I'm satisfied with or whatever. So I already gave, like I said, I'm a man of my word. And if I already told them I'm going to do business with them, I'm going to go down and do business with them, you know. And the guy was like, look, man, we'll match it. I could give you those same numbers and this and that and the third for the Granite one, which is the color I wanted anyway. Right? I kind of wanted that color more. But like I said, I told him I'm a man of my word, and I was like, nope. I already told him I was gonna go down and do business, and that's what I'm gonna do. I was like, no, there's no loyalty to them, because if you guys would have done it first, I told him, I was like, if you guys would have hit my number first, or at least came close to it, or whatever the case, then I would have been at your dealership, pretty much. So he was like, look, man, I respect that, you know, this and that. Let me know if anything falls through. I was like, yep, you'll be the first one to know if anything goes awry or anything falls through. So anyway, so like I said, so now I'm at the dealership with this one. Oh yeah, I guess I skipped over that. So remember, this was at the dealership that was local to me. They didn't want to deal. Like I said, I left out of there because they were trying to, you know, jerk me on my trade-ins or whatever this. So I went to the other dealership and I said, hey man, if you could get this car, whatever, we'll make a deal on this car. So they ended up dealer trading for this specific, like the actual car that was at the other one, right? So they did a dealer trade and got the car. So the other people, the sales guys over at where I live, you know, they're probably thinking, oh, well, you know, whatever, we got rid of the car anyway, the car is gone. But, you know, little they know, if the car's sitting in my garage, the same exact car is sitting in my garage because I just did the deal with another dealership, and they just went and picked up the car and brought it to their dealership, and I did the deal on the car with another dealer, pretty much dealership. So at the end of the day, man, but yeah, so anyway, so long story short, we couldn't get the BMW started, and I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth because I'm remembering as I'm going, but yeah, we couldn't get the BMW started, and I was already tired, and I was like, man, I have to tow this freaking car back and this and that and third. I was like, you know what, man, I told him, I was like, you know what, man, just give me $2 grand for the car. I'll throw $1 grand on top of it so we can make it even at the $3 grand. Because I remember I told you, they said, well, if we don't start, we're gonna give you 500. So I was like, man, just give me $2 grand. I'll throw $1 grand on top of it, make it $3 grand. Like I was originally anticipating getting for that car anyway. And we'll just call it a day. And they agreed to it, so it was all right, cool. So they gave me $2 grand, put $1 grand on top of it, and then I got $16,000 for my other car. So after everything, and then with a couple other little, you know, discounts or whatever the case, it came out to $29,700 is what I got that car for. So that's it, man. That's how much I paid for this car. That's what I financed. I don't know what my payments are yet, because like I said, I did my own financing through my my bank. So once they actually write that check out and send it to them, something must have been going on over there. Got paramedics and everybody else. So hopefully whoever it was, one of my neighbors, hopefully they're all right. But anyway, so I don't know what my payments will be yet, because they, you know, once they write the check or whatever and tell my bank, okay, look, this is what we got the car for, $29,700. The bank then takes that. I did have a little bit of negative equity with the Volkswagen, because like I said, I had just bought it. So they'll take that, throw that on top, and then from there they'll get my payments. So I know what my roundabout payments will be, but I don't know what they are exactly. So once I get that, I'll let you guys know. But anyway, I know this video has been long enough. That's what I paid for this Go Mango Charger Scat Pack. Like I said, it's pretty much fully loaded, man. The only thing I do not have in it is a technology package, which I don't want anyway. But anyway, we'll save that for another video. We'll do a whole walk around and you know what the car has and the options and everything else, man. But other than that, man, I appreciate you guys for checking in. I know it's been a long video, man, but like I said, we got to get all these freaking boring ass videos out the way for the beginning, man, because I know people always wonder, what do you pay, what'd you pay, and this and that and the third or whatever. And I've seen videos on I've seen comments on other people's videos as far as what they paid. And I think there's another guy who has a white one with black stripes, black carbon stripes, and somebody was like, man, you paid $50,000 for a Scat Pack, you could have got a used Hellcat. Look, man, I got you, but you're gonna pay, because I've seen those, because I thought about that. 16, at least in Florida anyway. Actually, I mean, I even looked all over the country. 2016, if you want to be around 50 grand, 52 grand, it gotta be a 2016 Hellcat. Usually, normally, probably about, the average I think is about 15,000 miles, 15 to 20 something, to 15 to 25,000 miles. Everybody knows that in a Hellcat, man, 15 to 25,000 miles, those are not easy miles. It's not a Cadillac, it's not whatever. People that are buying these cars are buying them and they're using them as intended. So at the end of the day, I mean, sure, it's a Hellcat, whatever, this and that. But first of all, we already know the 16s had problems with like the supercharger and everything else and the bearings or whatever, right? So who knows if that particular car has those problems, if they got it fixed or not. Second of all, like I said, we know that they've done, more than likely, whoever owned that car has done burnouts, has done this, has done that, done donuts or whatever the case. And yeah, even if you do it yourself, but at least you know that you're doing, you know, it's your car and you're doing it. You're not, you know, it's not somebody else who's been doing it. It's just, all right, cool, man, here you go. I mean, that's like, you know, for us dudes out there, man, that's like taking a girl that's been, you know, passed around the neighborhood already, and then, all right, man, you can have her. Like, nah, man, I want, you know what I'm saying, I want my own girl so I can, you know, do whatever I want to do with and then that's it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want the one that's already, you know, that's already been molested and everything else and everybody's already had their chance with her. I don't want that, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no you know, Jenny from the blocks or whoever, you know what I'm saying, who people who's always, I mean, yeah, sure, it's cool, you know, you look at J-Lo, you be like, man, she looks good, but you know she's been with a lot of motherfuckers, you know, she's been with a lot of people, so at the end of the day, you know, that's not the one you want to marry. So like I said, that's not the one I want to buy, basically, the one that's been passed around. You know, it's cool and everything else, but like I said, not the one that I want to touch. So anyway, so at the end of the day, yeah, man, so I rather, like I said, I've seen people comment on that on other people's videos, man, you pay 50 grand for, you know, for that or whatever, this and that, and you could have just got to use Hellcat. Well, maybe somebody don't want to use Hellcat, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to use Hellcat, because like I said, I thought about that, I threw that, you know, that thought out there as well, but then I was like, I don't want to use Hellcat, man. I'd rather just get a brand new Scat Pack, and at least I know I've been the first one to actually, you know, sit down and do things to it or whatever, and this and that, you know. Hasn't been molested or whatever already through, you know, with other people doing whatever they want to do with the car. So that's the reason why I didn't get a used Hellcat. But yeah, man, so like I said, and that's what these cars are going for, man. Like I said, trust me, I've looked, man. And yeah, you could get a Scat Pack for 40, 45,000 or whatever the case, but it's gonna have no options in it. It's literally gonna have nothing. It's gonna have the cloth seats. It's gonna have no sunroof. It's not gonna have anything in it, man. No dynamics package, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, at the end of the day, man, anything that you want that looks like this one, you know, that's optioned out like this one, you're looking at right around 50. It is what it is, man. And like I said, I've looked, trust me, I've looked. And you know, because like I said, I mean, the invoice is 48. So, you know, good luck trying to get it for 40,000 out the door and the invoice is at 48. It ain't gonna happen. So anyway, man, again, that's what I paid for this car. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this is super long, but like I said, I know we're trying to get all the boring videos out the way of what I paid for the car, you know, how much gas and and all the options and everything else, and you know, do the detail walk around and all that. So we got to get all that stuff out the way so that we can start modding this car. As I always say, man, appreciate you guys for checking in. Like I said, as I get more subscribers, we're gonna be modding this car together pretty much. You you know, as I hit certain milestones, every time I hit a certain milestone, I'm gonna get another mod, right, to the car, aesthetically or even, you know, performance wise. But I will tell you with this one, I am planning on doing, I plan on showing a different side of these Scat packs. And even when I end up getting a Hellcat eventually, I think I want to show a different side of it, man, because everybody on YouTube is just, you know, getting the car, wrapping it, and literally just trying to put as much power as they can into it. And it's just like, okay, we've seen that a lot already. So I want to show, you know, the beauty of these cars, man. I want to show, you know, the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you take care of a car like this, like how it could look. When you put certain, you know, certain things on it, how it could look. You know what I'm saying? And not just wrap it. You know, don't even wash it, but just wrap it, throw some, you know, freaking drag radios on it and take it to the track. That's not gonna be my angle. That's not gonna be my focus on this car. My direction is gonna be the act, you know, celebrating the showcasing the beauty of these cars. Cause man, they're beautiful cars, man. If you just take care of them, like I said, I mean, these cars could look really good, man. So that's what I plan on doing. Showcasing the you know, the beauty of these cars, and then you know, like I said, we'll do the performance stuff and the fun things. And I've already got a couple people that are hitting me up saying, you know, hey, let's get some runs in, and trust me, we're gonna do that as well. But like I said, for the most part, we're gonna make sure we showcase the beauty of these cars and what they could look like when they're tastefully modded, especially aesthetically. So, and with that being said, man, like I said, every time I hit a subscriber milestone that I already got written down on a piece of paper, we're gonna get another mod. As a matter of fact, let me tell you what those are real quick. All right, man, so I'm not gonna say what the mods are gonna be, because then obviously then I just, you know, there's no anticipation, right? But immediately, basically, so like I said, I gotta take off. I gotta go to catch a plane in here in a couple of hours. But immediately, so as soon as I get back, man, I'm gonna go ahead and debadge the back and do the front windshield tint, right? That's not really a mod or whatever, but you know, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do right now. And then I'll probably end up ordering the I think it was that the Lux Auto, whatever. I'll probably do the tinted tail lights as well. So that's immediate, right? But I don't really necessarily call those mods or whatever, but that's what I'm gonna do as soon as I get back. So that'll be immediately on the car as soon as I get back, man, here in a couple days. Anyway, so after that, man, our next mod is gonna be at 500 subs, man. So as soon as we get 500 subs, we'll see the next mod on this car aesthetically. So let's try to get to that as much as possible, man. Make sure you guys share, like, subscribe. You know, like I always say, share with your mammy, your pappy, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, your baby daddy, your baby mama, tu tia, tío, primo, tu mamá, tu papá, whatever, right? Because like I said, we bilingual with this channel. I know you guys probably can't tell, but 100% Panamanian, so we bilingual here, man. So like I said, so make sure you guys tell everybody. Let's get this channel to 500 subs, and then we'll see the next mod go on this car, man. Appreciate you guys for checking in, man. We'll be dropping another video soon. My next video will probably be a walk around in the car, and we'll talk about, you know, all the options and everything else that I got with this particular car, man. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this as well. This car will be affectionately named Tigger. So there we go, man. Go Mango Charger, Fatkat's Charger, Scat Pack Charger will be named Tigger, man. No other way to put it. Orange and black, man. I know it's cheesy, but it is what it is, man. So this car will be Tigger, affectionately known as Tigger from now on. All right. So there we go, man. Appreciate you guys for checking in, man. We catch you guys on the next one, man. Later.